know it's been a hot minute, but I am back to talk about Cardfight Vanguard. Now, when we last met, I was pretty negative. I fucking hated that last arc so much. Just a really interesting idea in the form of Akina now having to fight Hikari after trying to save her was just lost in a sea of generic filler, uninteresting new characters, and then when we got to it was basically just quickly brushed aside so we could move on to big dumb alien thing possesses hot chick and makes her go goth. And I thought it was terrible and horrendous and I hated it, and it's a big part of why honestly I didn't even bother watching this arc as it was airing. Like, if I gotta be honest, I just really was done and tired of this franchise's bullshit. So I basically just kind of sat it out until I started hearing a lot of good things. And then people were like, well, you're the card game anime guy. Talk about card game anime, boy! So I sat down and watched all 13 episodes basically over the last few days. I had some life stuff in the way, had a YCS to go to, which is why I'm a little late after saying I would talk about this next. But here we are. And you know what? I actually really liked this. This was surprisingly good. It's better than the first Deluxe arc, that's for damn certain. And it's probably, I think in a weird way, maybe the best thing they've done with the Divinez characters. Well, let's talk about why. The first thing that I think that this arc does that's really smart is that it brings it back to what Cardfight Vanguard is when it's good. Now, I don't think anyone will ever say that Cardfight Vanguard is, if nothing else, a inconsistent franchise. There are some dog shit horrible arcs in the show, but when Vanguard is good, I think it's because it focuses on characters and the drama they're going through. This is supposed to be a more normal, realistic world, and I think when they embrace that and use it to just focus on things that the audience can relate to, I think is really when the series is at its best. When this franchise loses people is when it feels like it has to basically be like Yu-Gi-Oh! And have all the supernatural bullshit, i.e. what ruined the last arc, just completely like consume the show and then like just get lost because of it. But what this arc does is that it is very focused on the characters it wants to be focused on and how they are growing as people, how they're changing, how what they've gone through has influenced where they are now, and how they want to focus on where they're going in the future. I think picking this very simple, straightforward storyline 100% works to the franchise's advantage, and I think made for just some really great character moments, all of which we're going to talk about because that's what we're here to do. Let us begin with our protagonist himself, Akina. Now, I'm going to be totally honest. For the most part, I have been kind of indifferent to just sort of okay with Akina. My issue with this guy is he's very reactionary. The first arc is 100% him based around just going through this tournament to save Hikari. And then in the next arc, he kind of just stands there and goes along with everything without really doing anything to influence till the plot says it's time for him to do it. And that's no fun. I want my main characters to be the one driving the story forward. I want the story to be based around the decisions they make, the things they do to influence things. But Cardfight Vanguard, like a lot of other anime franchises, has this massive problem of it doesn't know or doesn't want to put the time into constructing a story where the protagonist's actions is what sort of moves things forward. So we do get a lot of characters just moping around for just what feels like endless episodes. But what this arc did that I thought was very interesting, it kind of recontextualized that and made it the point. The whole point to Akina in this arc is he has spent his whole life taking care of Hikari. And then when that was over, he immediately got dragged into all the insanity with Sybil and just basically got put on another adventure where he had to save Hikari. But that's now over. And now that that's over, he's left wondering, what does he do next? What does Vanguard mean for him? What kind of future does he want to create for himself? And I think that is such a great arc for a character like this. It's very relatable to actual teens. Hell, I think even a lot of adults can understand what this guy is going through. And I think it's always presented in a very reasonable way in this show. There is a lot of scenes here of him just kind of like standing around and contemplating things. Just wondering where is he to go from here, and then seeing how everyone else is moving forward because of the decisions they've made, as he wonders how can he make them himself. I think it's done in a way that's very relatable. It's done in a way that's very understandable. And I like that it was allowed to breathe. It was allowed to be his whole focus of the season. Some may say that, well, yeah, that should feel obvious, but in a world where arcs are often condensed or just like dragged out, to make it organically feel like something that's going on for 13 episodes, I think is really great to see. And I love the way he comes to his conclusion of he would like to be a pro fighter himself. Then we have probably my favorite stuff in the show, the Suo stuff. I absolutely loved everything with him, and I'm just going to call her Caramel Girl. This character will forever be defined by the giant jar of caramel she carries everywhere. I thought this was great. I really did. What makes Suo an interesting character to me is not just the fact that in season 1, he spent the whole time like just being this emotionally closed off, lost individual who didn't really want anything or care about anything. But what I think makes Suo interesting is seeing how he wants to now move past that. We saw it a bit in the last arc of how he does want to be more social. He wants to talk to people more. He wants to card fight more. Maybe to the point where it makes him come off as awkward. But I think the fact that he has the desire to better himself is great to see. And I thought the fact that it got to have so much focus this arc was actually really great. I love that the minute he sees this girl, he senses that kindred spirit. He knows he has found someone who has gone through trauma, who has dealt with pain, and felt that the answer of this was just to close herself off, to go with what life is just giving her, and never really think there's a way out or a way for things to get better, believing that she has to feed in to that darkness within her in order for her to be okay. Is anything in this storyline subtle? Hell no! But I think it kind of works for these characters. When you get that first image of everyone else thinking, wow, what a strong fighter. Wow, she's cool. And him seeing those chains around her because he's probably seen that within himself, I think that is a very effective image. On top of that, because of the kind of character this is, when he just straight up says to her, I want us to be friends. You've been through some shit and I want to help you get through it. Because it's this guy and he is the way he is, I buy it. And I kind of believe that in order to help this girl, you need the direct path. You do just need to kind of look her in the eye and be like, you're not alone. I get it. I can help you. Some people really do just need to be directly told the truth like that. And I thought this was a really great way to show her going about it. I also like she's not immediately wanting to be saved. I like that in her mind, she's so used to the mentality of follow her family's orders that when told there's a way out, she's like, I don't care. I don't want a way out. This is what I know. This is what I have to do to succeed in life. I don't care. This is just what I'm going to do. And Suo just kind of keeps pushing, just always in this way that feels like, I understand what you're saying. I get what you're saying, but hear me out. Also, did he just get a new form for his ace, Blagdemeyer, because he was just like, yep, the power of horniness is here. I must have this woman. I know it's not really romantically coded. I kind of feel like they might go this way. I also love the friend's reaction. The idea that Suo would take an influence in a girl just has him like flabbergasted. Oh, fuck, we're running out of time here. I only talked about 2 things, but they were the best 2 things. We'll just touch on a few things really quick. I like everything with Erica. The idea of seeing her wanting to move on and create a new path for herself is really nice. All the now stuff, I like the idea of her kind of like now being put into question, her relationship with Akina, and how does that affect her as a mentor and like a surrogate older sister. Everything with Moon Man was like fine. I know he's got a name, but he's fucking Moon Man. It's the deck. That's what he's called. As for negatives real quick, I mean, I don't really care about any of the returning characters in their fights. They don't really do anything. Like, they didn't really do anything with Gyu or the Danji's sister. The one with Megumi was neat, but like she's not gonna really do anything. They've never known what to do with her. I am kind of worried what's gonna happen going forward with all of our reoccurring characters. The fact that our main lyrical girl is now on the sidelines has me a little worried what could happen next with her, especially after what happened after the last Deluxe arc, but time will tell. All in all, I had a great time with this arc. I just love it when Cardfight Vanguard takes the time to focus on characters and build on what they have with them, and to see that here really brought a smile to my face. And I think if you haven't given this arc a try, I think you definitely should. I think it'll do the same for you. But what did you think? In the comment section below, give me your thoughts on Cardfight Vanguard Divine's Deluxe arc. Did you like it? Did you not like it? What was your favorite fight? Tell about all that below. And as always, click to like, click to subscribe, and join me next time where we say goodbye and give our final video on Yu-Gi-Oh! Go Rush.